Greetings, fellow K-Knights. This is a Let's Play video of Vampire the Masquerade Redemption, featuring the Age of Redemption 2012 mod. This is going to be a combination of Let's Play and developer commentary. I'm also going to be talking about feature changes for the Age of Redemption 2014 mod. So this will be kind of a recap for me, and this will also point out some features in 2012 and some bugs in 2012 that need to be fixed in the 2014 edition. Right. I guess for those new to the Age of Redemption 2012 mod, this is the Age of Redemption config app. It pretty much includes quite a bit of difficulty adjustments and feature adjustments, like being able to turn off some of the Age of Redemption AI features. Excuse me. It also includes the difficulty setting here. Typically, I'm just going to leave all this on the default setting, just to show how I would play it from a developer's point of view, and what my intent was with the Age of Redemption 2012 mod and the default configuration. Obviously, this game dates back in a time where Activision apparently was trying to go up against Blizzard's Diablo 2, and it really shows that this is a really hack and slash style sort of retro game, and it is not lore friendly to begin with, and it is not the intent of the Age of Redemption mod to make it lore friendly. I'm not doing significant changes to the quests. I am doing some change. I did do some changes to the quest to kind of modernize some of the gameplay, and there is an intent to modernize it even more with the Age of Redemption 2014 edition. So yeah, there is definitely a goal here to bring the game even closer to the Diablo 2 sort of feel that Nihilistic was apparently attempting to do with the Vampire the Masquerade Redemption game, and that'll also include reworking some random treasures, and maybe eventually featuring perhaps procedural enemies, and making it configurable, as configurable as possible. Is one of those things I'm attempting to aim for as well, allowing the user to essentially mod the mod and to adjust its difficulties and its features to their own taste. So there is a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So it's kind of there are some things that I'm doing that are inspired not just by attempting to make this game more like Diablo, but I'm also trying to add some elements in that give it some kind of a sandbox feel to it, kind of make the game less linear, though those haven't been fully implemented yet. But what has been done though is significant changes to the AI, significant changes to the type of treasures you'll find, as well as a co-op feature that allows players in multiplayer to play cooperatively in the original single-player game. So that kind of adds a little more sandboxiness to it. That's probably the one part that is sandboxy, where the single player, which I'm going to be playing the single player, but the multiplayer will be definitely featured. There will be a Let's Play of the multiplayer when the 2014 is finished. There is plans for a significant increase in content, including integrating the Giga Pack, no less, to put the Giga Pack in there. not in the mod itself, but integrate some of its code to where it detects the Geiger pack and enables new features. So that is the intent of 2014, is to not only fix up the Geiger pack, because it does have problems right now, and it definitely has some instability issues with the Age of Redemption 2012, so I would not recommend using Geiger currently with the Age of Redemption 2012. It is not stable just yet. We're still working on it, and it's going to take some time to get it all finished. Etta Urias did a considerable amount of work with the Geiger pack, and there's a ton of files, and a lot of it needed organization. And he was the only one that was doing it, and he apparently didn't have a team and wasn't doing any beta testing. So what my intent is to help organize the project, include some beta testing, organize some beta testing, and essentially integrate it and make all of the hard work that he's done not go in vain, and make it all work together so everyone can enjoy the work that he's done, the hard work that he's done, and in a functional and stable manner, and even have it enhance the Age of Redemption experience. So yeah, that being a plan aside, currently I will just run a Let's Play here, and we are going to see what all features are in the Age of Redemption 2012 mod for the single player. And I will be playing from start to finish, and this will obviously be a series, an ongoing series, essentially running from mission to mission. And for this first part, I will be going from Kristoff's initial introduction up to his embrace, and then work on another part from there. So let's get started. Alright, let's see. Okay, first off, I am going to be... this is actually my third attempt at doing this video, because I've been trying to use the NVIDIA Shadow Play to do these recordings, and it's obviously still in beta. The reason I'm not using Fraps is because of the effects I have enabled in the NVIDIA control panel to enhance the graphics of the game. Apparently Fraps doesn't like it, so I'm using NVIDIA Shadow Play to record this game, and it's obviously it occasionally has some sort of audio conk out or something. It acts kind of weird in the audio front, but there's a couple of chances I did update drivers just today. They came out with new drivers today, and those drivers also included some audio fixes to the HD audio feature within my GTX 760. So I've also switched to single GPU to run this. So I'm hoping, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe SLI might have had something to do with the audio conk out, but if it does conk out, I will edit it out, edit out the audio in video editing, and likely inject some new commentary from a separate audio file. So I will let you know if that happens, and try to make this video as fluent as possible. I've also removed the big files, so it kind of skipped straight into the game. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the big files. They are old and draconian, and they only run at 640 by 480 resolution, and it changes the resolution. It kind of changes the flow of my recording. Another thing, I will be pressing F11 a lot, because I know this GUI is very huge, it's very distracting, but also notice that in Age of Redemption 2012, it uses the modern GUI. This is actually the modern GUI that that you see when you reach modern times. That's interesting. I got the broadsword here that's highlighted in red for some reason. That is interesting. I wonder what happens when I try to... Okay, apparently that fixed it. Alright, well, that was interesting. The broadsword was highlighted in red like it was unavailable. Okay, so I'm going to be trying to hide this GUI as often as I can. In my NVIDIA control panel, I did enable a number of texture effects, increased texture quality as high as I can to make this old game at least look reasonably crisp. And I also use the DirectX 9, the forced DirectX 9 feature from the Age of Redemption config app. And apparently what that does and what that appears to do is it seems to change the color palette. The colors appear to be more vibrant in the when you force DirectX 9. It doesn't make the game use DirectX 9 per se, but it does seem to utilize some increased crispness in the visuals. So let's see. I'm gonna continue on here. Deal with these Slachta. And use shift a lot because this broadsword's pretty bad.
Christoph, thy wound.
Nay, 'tis nothing. A scratch.
The mighty walls of Prague once held all demons at bay, but the Schlachta have overtaken a silver mine to the east. With a haven so close to the city, they boldly walk the streets by night to kill, and worse than kill. Many have been dragged alive from their homes for some unspeakable purpose.
I will never let them take thee.
Oh, sir.
Okay, for these responses, these actually affect your humanity real early on. This decision up here will increase your humanity by 10 points, and this one down here will decrease your humanity by 10 points. I think this will raise me up to 60, and that would lower me down to 40, I think. But I'm going to go for the humanity build. Try to keep my humanity up as high as I can. If I wanted to drop it later in the game to test some lower humanity aspects of the game, I could do that by killing people. You know, I could just kill them outright on the street. So I'm just going to take advantage of the humanity bonuses in the conversations. That way it gives me a little more freedom later on.
Tomorrow I shall venture into the silver mine and flush the vermin from their holes.
Thou must not. Thy wound is too great.
Nay, I am resolved. They will pay in blood for the fright they have given thee.
Oh, sir, should they harm thee, my heart...
Come away, Aneska. Thou hast wasted enough of good Sir Christoph's time with thy idle chatter. Christoph, the Lord smiles upon thy wrath. I shall pray for thy victory.
I shall not fail.
Alright, just a quick developer commentary here. Aneska's pathing had been altered for that scene, so she no longer gets caught on the bed. Initially, the original configuration for her is just there was just one pathing data right through the bed, and she would occasionally get stuck on it as she walks, and you know, sometimes she'll nav around it just fine, and then sometimes she'll get stuck on it. So what I did was I just created more nav points for her to actually get around the bed properly, so she don't get stuck. Another feature I added is in this first scene during the daytime when you're in the convent, you can talk to Aneska and gain a blessing effect from her.
Oh, sir, I pray for thy safety on so perilous a journey.
Alright, so this effect, when you highlight over it with the mouse and you look at your viewer down here, it is Aneska's blessing and it's health regeneration. This is actually very useful, and you're going to want this as often as you can possibly get it. You can only refresh the effect when it expires. So every time it expires, I would highly recommend you come back here to the convent and talk to Aneska again. But right now, she doesn't do anything while the effect is still active for you. In a multiplayer game, each player can talk to her and get the effect, and each player can only get one effect. So they'd have to come back when the effect expires. And the effect lasts for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. So that's quite a while.
The cheerful daylight world belies the horrors that prowl by night. How can the good people of Prague go about their business with such evil abroad in the land?
Alright, so again, pressing my F11 here to get that GUI out of the way. You can see it is very noticeable. It takes up quite a bit of the screen. I'm only going to use it when I actually need it, like if I'm having to view something like my inventory or whatnot. So for now, I am just looking at the quest that I'm on right now. So I have to leave Prague through the East Gate and enter the mines. Defeat the monsters that dwell within. So that's my first mission. I will be going around town first and showing off some various features. And then I'll head off to the mines. I will talk to the Archbishop first.
God save and protect thee, his soldier, his wrath and vengeance.
A new feature in the Age of Redemption mod is that the Archbishop, when you speak to him, he'll give you stuff at random. Typically, you can only talk to him once in the single-player game.
Why dost thou tarry on thy sacred mission? Get thee hence unto places of evil.
But in the multiplayer game, players can talk to him multiple times and receive random items from him. They can use this to quickly boost up some of their money and buy what they need before heading on the first mission. So it really makes it a little more friendly for first level players that enter in a multiplayer game. So I would highly recommend that if you are entering the multiplayer aspect and playing co-op, that you go see the Archbishop and get some items. Another feature is these rusty weapons. When you find a rusty weapon, you can actually repair it in the Age of Redemption mod. You'll need a whetstone to repair rusty weapons. And every rusty weapon is pretty much, it's spoiler alert here, every rusty weapon is actually a silver weapon when you repair it, even though I think in reality silver doesn't actually rust. I don't think it rusts, but whatever, it's just a game.
Hail and well met, Crusader.
Hail and well met to thee, Knights of St. John.
'Tis good to hear the voice of a fellow Frenchman. We Knights of St. John are far from home, and I would we were back in France.
Say not so. We should gladly go to the ends of the earth in service to our Lord. Good day to thee.
Yeah, that conversation was actually quite pointless. Didn't seem to provide much of anything. And also notice that the guards are attackable. I wouldn't recommend you attack them. Not just yet. Though, when you're a human, you can actually kill civilians without losing your humanity. And you can actually kill other humans without losing your humanity. As a vampire, if you were to kill those guards, you would lose, I think, 5 points of humanity each time you kill somebody. You'll also want to acquire as much healing elixirs and salves as you possibly can.
Hail, good Sir Knight, and welcome. They do say you seek to cleanse the minds of evil. Oh, these demons have brought great suffering to the good people of Prague. Our craftsmen have no ceiling for their wares, and many proud families now beg for their bread. Please, accept all that my humble inn can provide, and the blessings of the Lord
Having a
be
bit of
upon your quest.
phlegm in my throat here. Anyway, also in multiplayer, he will continue to give practically an unlimited amount of healing elixirs to any player that keeps talking to him over and over and over again. it allows players to easily and quickly, get their resources up so they can do the first mission without, worrying about being without any resources to do it. So, anyway, there's that. Also, I did change the treasure class script for the for these barrels. They actually do give really a lot more cash. And notice that it says cash. There's a really technical reason as to why this doesn't say gold anymore and it all says cash. It's mainly because of the flag that set this GUI to modern day. Also pretty much makes everything assume that it's modern day. The reason I did that is because this whole chronicle is now one big, it's all linked to one file now, and it no longer loads separate files for each chronicle. So this actually caused a problem for a lot of users who crashed trying to leave the Prague and go to Vienna. Well, I combined them all together, so not only did that actually make it to where in multiplayer you could just keep playing, but it also fixed a crash issue in single player, so that that old command that changed the chronicles no longer causes crashes. That was a big issue, and it's pretty deprecated command. It really doesn't work for 99% of the computers that are out today.
Smithy. Now I may replace my war-weary armor.
And because of a lot of these fixes in the Age of Redemption mod, I am considering more feature selective options, so that the user can actually choose the type of experience they want to have, because there are a lot of fixes, and people mainly use the Age of Redemption mod to fix their game issues. Do I want to go to the smithy? Do I have money for the smithy? Oh yes, I would actually want to repair. I found a rusty broadsword from that barrel, and I think I would prefer to have the, because one thing I may want to tweak later on, especially in the 2014 edition, is the usefulness of the different weapon types. Because right now axes are really not preferred over broadswords, especially once these are fixed up, and I'll show you why.
Hail, good Sir Blacksmith. I am Christoph of the Sword Brethren, and I seek to replace armor lost in battle.
Hold it, young crusader. I be Jiri Borajov, and the very boards of me humble shop are honored to be trodden by a sword brethren. And who will ye be slaying in your new armor?
You actually gain some experience by humor in this smithy.
I seek to slay the demons in the silver mines to the east.
You look a bit sickly, Sir Christoph. If ye do seek to spill the blood of the fiends in the mine, ye'll be needing special protection.
The protection of the Lord suffices. I need no more than that.
Ha! Tell that to your armor and sword. Nay, 'tis gypsy charms I be speaking of.
Oh shit, man. Yeesh. All kinds of uncontrolled bodily functions this morning. Let's see, aid from a
Aid
gypsy.
from a gypsy? Can such a thing be godly?
Why, did not King Saul seek out a wise woman and her familiar spirit in his time of need? Yea, that very King Saul, who had once banished all witches, sought a witch when he needed to learn of his future. She summoned the spirit of Samuel the prophet, and no mistake, 'tis in the Holy Bible.
There is wisdom in thy words. I will go to this gypsy.
You must promise me that the gypsy will come to no harm by my telling.
Sure.
I promise.
Go ye to the Golden Lane, where you'll find an herbal shop run by the old gypsy woman, Unorna. There ye shall find something to aid ye surely. God be with ye, young one.
Okay, so reason why I'm here to grab some whetstones. They're the first item on the smithy's list, and these are new items that are added by the Age of Redemption mod. I'm also going to sell this silver ring. And I know that I'm going to be selling this broadsword because I'm going to be ending up repairing this rusty broadsword, and it will become a silver broadsword.
You have my hand on it. 'Tis a deal.
And to do that, I got to equip it first. And then I have to right-click on the whetstone. And ta-da! It is a silver broadsword. I'll do this to the axe too. It is now a silver axe. Now, notice right offhand, the silver axe doesn't even do as much damage as the silver broadsword. It doesn't even have an accuracy bonus, and it certainly does not swing as quickly as the broadsword. Its speed is the speed of the broadsword is much faster. So I am just going to sell this silver axe.
Good day to ye, young sir.
And notice that the silver axe's value isn't even as high as the whetstone it took to repair it. So that is also another issue, and I may want to address that in the Age of Redemption 2014.
Good day to ye.
So, now I have a better broadsword. This would normally have cost me maybe at least 500 gold to have acquired it. So, I guess I will go see Unorna. And for those of you who, who use the map, after speaking to the smithy, you'll actually get a little red little dot up here showing that Unorna's shop is at this location, and it indicates that, okay, you're currently in the weaponsmith, and so to get to her you'd have to go down this road here and hit that bridge entrance and then go across and over. Typically I played this game so much that the map is pretty useless, but it still kinda is. It doesn't have a compass system. There's nothing I can really do about that. There is essentially no way I can fix this for the 2014 edition. I could, however, make a series of different maps, perhaps, because this is one big image, essentially established with coordinates and stuff. The funny thing is, on my graphics card with my current settings, you can actually see the scenes of which this is comprised. It's kind of funny. Okay, moving on. Anyway, I won't be using the map very much at all. I find it an old sort of concept for me. It doesn't have any of the features that really make a map useful. But it is, however, the map is, however, representative of a construct that doesn't hold your hand as much, so you really have to figure out where you are, and you'll see these green dots. This really indicates where you are on the map. So I guess it's semi-useful for those who are new to the game.
The shop of a gypsy witch. Dare I enter such a place?
Okay, another thing. Heads being cut off. That is because I am using a 16:9 aspect ratio, and this game does what is called a vert minus. So what that essentially means is that you're losing more screen on the tops and the bottoms while gaining a little bit more from the sides. But Yeah, that's it. That's essentially, you're losing some vertical screen. So that's what vert minus means. When you're looking up widescreen gaming, there's a website called Widescreen Gaming. It pretty much explains what all that means. If you don't like the heads being cut off, you can use it. Technically, the game only really supports a 4:3 aspect ratio, especially for the cutscenes. But I may consider doing some fixes in the Age of Redemption 2014 to be more camera friendly to the widescreen users for those using a 16:9 aspect ratio. So that will likely go in my 2014 notes, my planner notes at the E-Mods.net forum.
Hello, young one. What is it you desire?
I desire only to bring the Lord's justice to the evil that has befallen this city. I would know of the devils that rule the night in Prague.
See, obviously,
They
not all
are
cameras
vampires.
cut off their heads.
The undead! The blood drinkers! The fiends to hide their miserable carcasses away in mines and crypts under the earth, for the very rays of the sun to scald the flesh from their bones. It is quite a sight, and a stench, the like of which you'll ne'er forget.
Then perhaps I shall show them the glory of the breaking dawn before dealing them their final mercy.
That angle could use some
The
fixing.
bonds cannot kill the fiends, lest their heads be cleft from their undying bodies. You will need more than a buckler of faith to aid you.
Okay, so what does she have? I do have a bit more money from selling off some of that stuff. I still have Sir Cuthbert's letter. I need to read this eventually and then probably put it in my vault. Let's see here. Holy water. Very expensive right now. Steaks. These both will be very useful when fighting Ozra, but I think right now one of the most dangerous things you're going to be dealing with are the rats. The rats are actually quite dangerous in Age of Redemption 2012 because when they hit you with the disease effect, which will happen far more often in AOR 2012, it is permanent until cured. So you will actually need to use a disease vaccine to get rid of it. So, with that stated, I bought a couple of those disease vaccines. I figure I am going to need them.
Go with God, young one. And be sure to be within the warmth of a hearth when the sun falls. For the foes you have seen are but a small part of the wickedness that walks the streets of Prague by night.
I shall send all such wickedness back to hell.
Alright. So, I've actually gained some experience from talking to her, and of course this prior experience gain here, that was done from the Smith. These experience gains are now noted by the Age of Redemption mod. You normally don't see these in the vanilla game, but I added them into console so you can actually see what's going on. Alright, getting rid of this GUI when I don't need it. And I have to do this every time I transition a level. It would be pretty cool if I can find some way to have level transitions remember the state of your GUI. So if you had it off, it would stay off and turn on only when you want it to turn on. But I don't know. I think that's hard-coded. A lot of things in the GUI is hard-coded. It's very difficult to get rid of this. Outside of just pressing F11. It's it literally only renders up to a certain part of the screen. This was actually talked about up on the Planet Vampire forum, where people was wanting to know if it's possible to mod it out. It is not. You can't mod it completely away. It would be nice if you could. It would also be nice to... Oh. God, I am finding a whole bunch of these this playthrough. Admittedly, this is my third attempt to record this video. Mainly because I was kind of turned off by the shadow play issues. But Dang, I am finding a lot of rusty broadswords this time. That is completely random. I really wish I could have kept my first playthrough, because that was actually very interesting. I had encountered some really interesting bugs going on with the random pathfinding of the civilian. And another thing about Age of Redemption, you can mod their pathfinding, actually, and I'm actually really considering making it to where they're not walking around completely random and without any purpose. It would be a rather large feature change for the Age of Redemption 14. I don't think I'd be able to do it within this year. I may try to improve the immersion of the game, in addition to increasing the Diablo-style gameplay.
Take care outside the gates of the city, good Sir Knight, for all those that wander the highways alone after nightfall are seldom heard from again. Even the strongest of warriors have disappeared. The streets of Prague are no longer safe after dark, but beyond the city walls all hell walks the night. Hell that disgorges from yonder castle of Viscerad.
Another thing that would be cool is if there was more side quests in the game and more places to explore, because it really is rather limited to shopping, resting, and going off to clear the dungeon.
Beware the mines, Crusader. If mere men could kill the Hellspawn, we Knights of St. John would have slain them long ago.
We lock these gates so the last rays of the sun die in the mountains. Pass within before dark, or wait without until dawn. I pray for thy safe return.
Obviously there is a plot loophole here. They're sending just one guy out to fight a very powerful vampire that, by lore standards, it is really impossible for him to defeat. It's really, there's a lot of examples of not so lore friendly quests, and this is one of them.
These carts still hold the The diggers have fled this place in haste, and the fiends have not seen fit to continue such honest labor.
Cleaning out the cobwebs, apparently. Oh, torches. Torches. They have also been changed in the Age of Redemption. When you equip the torch, it now has a duration. And it'll last up to 5 minutes. When you unequip it, it will actually save its state, so when you put it back on, it'll continue its timer from last it was left. And each timer is separate for each torch, so you may have to play the guessing game to figure out how much duration is left on a torch. Another cool thing about torches is they will add +5 fire damage to all of your attacks, which make them very useful in the Age of Redemption 2012 mod. But lighting, for the purpose of providing light, the game actually seems a little too bright to actually need torches, at least for me. I've heard about people that say the game is too dark, and I tend to wonder, what do you have your monitor set to?
The odor of freshly mined earth is laden with the foul stench of death.
Also, another thing, when you're running this game in windowed mode, it inherently looks dark. Also, windowed mode will probably be another feature added for the Age of Redemption 2014 config app, because it does seem to fix a lot of issues running in windowed mode, and it will probably fix issues for a number of people to run in windowed mode.
What mystery lies moldering here? This poor soul died without a wound, save a bit of blood in the throat.
One of the things you'll want to know about windowed mode in this particular game is that it's a windowed full screen mode. So it'll run like full screen but with window. So if you are setting your resolution to match your desktop and you run in windowed mode, it will appear at first like there's no difference. Right, so I might want to be a little bit more cautious in this, as I'm starting to fight slop stuff here and I'm getting sidetracked by my developer commentary, so I want to be a little more careful so I don't get myself cut down. I also probably want to, need to check on my, I need to check my features here. Oh yeah, I still need to get rid of Sir Cuthbert's. Forgot about that. I have a pretty good sword. Now I have a silver sword, which is really the most exquisite weapon you can possibly have. And it's really useful against werewolves, as if we're going to be fighting any werewolves in the Dark Ages. That is one of the unfortunate parts of the game. There was talk, apparently, that there could have been a werewolf level, especially during the transition between Prague to Vienna. But that might have been cut out and quickly explained away. Now, obviously, I can probably just drop Sir Cuthbert's letter, I mean, somewhere around here. But I'm going to keep it on me, as I will likely read it eventually.
Wild dogs? Nay, rats!
I'm getting a little sidetracked by the need to progress rather than read a letter. Okay, apparently none of those rats got a good hit off of me, so I wonder if I'm going to be using any of the disease vaccines being here. I don't know how lucky I'm going to be. I could be pretty lucky. Oh, that guy went pretty quick. Alright, so I'm going to go up here, grab a few things. Holy water, you're definitely going to want holy water. That's weird. Click up there for some reason. Oh, never mind. Okay, so I want to, first off, I'm going to get this out of here. I'm going to organize my quick slots here. First off, these quick slots, you can, these are bound to the F keys. So this one here, this elixir, is bound to F1. This is F2, F3, F4 through to F5. So, yeah, it's for some people that might actually be very useful to know, especially for me, since I'm going to be hiding the GUI a lot and trying to make use of the quick keys as much as I can. The one thing that I really wish this game had is a weapon swapping quick key. Just like in Diablo. Oh! I wonder how much damage that did. Okay, not too much. Nothing that the Aneska's Blessing couldn't fix. I still have Aneska's Blessing effect on there. Very useful. Very useful. Early on. Makes it where you don't have to use your elixirs too much. Another thing to note, Age of Redemption uses its own enemy respawn. So this... yeah, another rat's coming out of there. This is spawning rats on a separate script. So, when you combine this with killing a whole bunch of rats that come out of here, and this is a good experience bonus for those who are trying to grind and gain as much experience as they can. I have no idea how many rats are going to be coming out of there, but it could potentially be endless. And these could be good places to hang out if you really want to gain experience. And it looks like my torch is about to run out. The last 30 seconds it gets really low, kind of indicating to you that it is about to run out. And there it goes. So, awesome. I'm probably going to want to get some more torches if I go back to town. I probably will be going back to town here really quick. But for this playthrough, I get to start out with a silver broadsword. My last playthrough, I was not able to. So really, roll the dice, luck of the draw, or whatever. Is there any more? Any more wanting to come out of there? Hello! Oh, Aneska's Blessing's coming to an end! Ah! Okay, another reason to head back to town. I probably should get Aneska's Blessing refreshed or added back on, or whatever term you use for that. Right. How many socks do I want on me? He's kind of hesitant. He's thinking about coming at me. Alright, now he's coming at me. Oh, another rat over there? Okay. Right. Okay. Another Sloshka. Trying not to get too swarmed here by enemies. Even though I have a good sword, I might be a little too cautious, but I really advise to be cautious on Age of Redemption 2012, and depending on your preferences, however you configure 2014 will determine how much caution you may want or may not want to use. So there will be a lot more flexibility, because right now the difficulty adjuster in the Age of Redemption config app is relatively limited. I wouldn't recommend setting it to -1 because that doesn't do a whole lot. It just turns off some discipline calculations. But setting it to 0 is what I would advise for people having serious issues with the current difficulty. I'm playing on difficulty 2, which is default difficulty, and a lot of people have trouble with this. And I'm going to show how I play it. And dang, I got diseased. Right. Well, that's what I have. That's what I have the disease vaccine for, and I think I bound that to F4? Yes, I did. I was bound to F4. Right, so that's gone. Moving on. Also, another thing, you'll see in the console what level of affliction you are suffering when you see the icon. Instead of getting multiple icons of getting hit with disease, it makes it to where you're limited to only one effect of the disease. But what it will do is if you're hit by someone who also is a diseased creature, it will amplify the effect. It will increase the effects level even more. So it actually, each level makes it even more brutal than having multiple duration-based effects. Oh boy, I just walked out there and attracted 2 enemies. All right. Okay, this might not be good for me because I don't have Aneska's Blessing. How much damage did that do? That did a lot of damage. I might want to be a little more cautious. I think... Okay, he's veering off. Alright, so he does have a limit to how long he stays interested in engaging. So I'm just going to I'm just going to head on back to town and get some more deer. And I'm just going to jump straight over to there because it's probably not so interesting to watch me travel all the way back to town. Though, point of interest, might be a good time for me to level up my character. I think I'm coming up to some rats. Oh boy. I might want to use a elixir before going up against them. Okay. Oh! That didn't kill him. Ah! Die! Damn you. Die! And stay dead! I'm also getting an indicator to clear this level of enemies, and it was probably because this keeps respawning those rats. Once I clear this out, yeah, now the respawner will start to tick down. So it would take around 5 minutes, and the Age Redemption respawner will replenish all the enemies in this level. But that 5-minute timer only works if you're on this level, so it will pause if you leave the level, but this isn't true for multiplayer. The timer will actually still tick for the multiplayer game. Right, so that note aside, still heading off to town. Let's see. Another thing to note. Probably would be a good idea, since this is a Diablo type of game, it might be prudent to maybe include some Walk the Abysses that might go to the convent, perhaps? And set the convent as a haven?
Oh. Between wisdom and courage, 'tis better to be wise.
Yes, it is. I accidentally pressed spacebar after almost attacking these guys. I keep forgetting they are attackable, and better to be wise not to attack them. So yeah, I also pressed spacebar, which also skips the conversation sequences a little bit. It skips it line per line, so you can spam the spacebar key to quickly get through a conversation, especially if you played it over and over and over again. But I'm trying to refrain from doing that, just so I can increase a little bit of immersion here.
Good day to ye, young sir.
I do want to have another whetstone. I'm likely going to. I might keep this for later. I might put it in my vault. I know I need to have some better armor here, so I'm going to. I know I have these leather gloves. They protect against lethal and aggravated, so I'm going to keep those. You definitely want stuff that improves your aggravated defenses. And technically, this also gives only a +10. The gauntlets here over these leather gloves are pretty much the same defense, only that it adds bashing defense, which technically this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, overall, it seems like the leather gloves save you a lot of money, because bashing, you're not gonna be hit by bashing damage very often, not very often at all. So it doesn't really make it any more useful than the leather gloves. You definitely want to aim for lethal and aggravated defenses. So let's see here. I'm gonna get a light helmet. That's going to wipe out a lot of my cash. I may actually be tempted to sell the silver sword, if only to get more cash back. Right. I am also tempted to go back to the convent, not just to get Aneska's blessing, but also to level up a little bit, because I've got 1400 experience right here, and I may want to increase my wits, or possibly my dexterity. Right now it doesn't, well, actually, I don't know. Wits will increase my resistance against Ozra's mind tricks that she uses on you. Okay, I'm gonna sell this other one.
Good day to you.
I was thinking about keeping it mainly for the party members you get later in the game. Yeah, spoiler alert. But anyway, it's not like this game's so old. I think pretty much anyone can mostly remember what it's about. Though this game wasn't exceptionally popular, so I don't think everyone knows about Redemption. I mean, when the non-holistic website was still up and running, they advertised that this game sold maybe 500,000 copies, 500,000. That is not that's not remotely big enough to put it on the map. So a lot of people aren't familiar with Vampire the Masquerade Redemption, and in a lot of ways, Activision doesn't even put it up on their website anymore as one of the titles that they have. Really, the only way you can get this game is off of GOG.com, unless you're lucky enough to find it in a bargain bin somewhere. So, anyway, I think ultimately I'm going to go with Dexterity, because this will make my stakes more successful at attacking. I think I will spend a little on wits too, just to get that going. I'm also going to, I think I'm going to read, yeah, I'm going to read Sir Cuthbert's letter, and then I'm going to put it away.
My good kinsman Christoph, thy bravery carried the day in the Battle of the Moravian Hills. Thy sword brethren crushed the pagan barbarians and now chase their scattered hordes into eastern Hungary. Once the last of the heathens are routed, our garrison shall return to Prague, and thou mayst rejoin our ranks. Until then, the tender ministrations of the Holy Sisters shall revive thee, if it be God's will that thou outlive thy wound. Thy fellow sword brethren pray for thy swift recovery, for they cannot allow thee to ripen and rot in decadent luxury whilst they sacrifice themselves. Perhaps thou canst make thy sword arm useful to good Archbishop Giza until such time as we return to collect thee. May the tidings of the Lord be upon thee, Sir Cuthbert.
One thing I've noticed, excuse me, gosh, this is getting annoying. One thing I've noticed, you never actually meet Sir Cuthbert. You never meet him. It would be interesting to later, if I ever have time, to include some side quests, perhaps, that could potentially introduce Sir Cuthbert. And I probably need somebody to make a model for him. So I have no idea what he looks like. Oh yeah, I need to get Inesca's blessing.
Oh, sir, I pray that the light of the Lord fill thy body with strength and vigor.
Okay, so I think that is all I needed, and should head right back to the mines. The mine. Just doing a little organization here. Right. Okay, so off to the mine I go. Right. I just noticed that the clear this level of enemies just added in. It seems like there was a timer ticking, but it has now reset, indicating that one of these rat holes have spawned more rats. This will be very interesting. Okay, so that's the only rat hole that has spawned more rats. So it'll be interesting to see how many rats respawn in this level. I will likely not be spending any time grinding around here. I don't think it would be necessary to do a whole lot of grinding in this area. I think it's I'm gonna try to do this in one run. If I do end up grinding through it, I will likely not record my grinding, as I'm pretty sure that would get pretty repetitiously boring real fast. I'm sure a number of people who may be into grinding a lot, and that's why the timer is there. But you can actually turn off that feature of the respawn timer through the config file by setting the timer to 0. and that'll disable it. Alright, so I'm getting close to where I was anyway, so I'm going to continue on. So I have a Nesca's Blessing. I'm all ready to go. Alright, so here we go. Again, this time I'm going to try to attract only the rat. And I'm going to check on my health here real quick. Okay, my health has been restored. Right. Yeah, I forgot to grab some torches. But I will tell you, there is a torch right over here. So I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to equip it. And use it up on him. And for strong enemies, it's highly advised that you hold down the shift key when you're attacking. For swords, it's very useful. The shift key will add a secondary attack that does, I think, plus 5 or plus 10 accuracy and plus 5 or plus 10 damage on top of that. Healing salt, gonna need those.
I reclaim this treasure from the clutches of evil and reconsecrate it to a godly purpose.
Ah, right. Another thing about Age of Redemption 2012 is when you grab the shield. In multiplayer, if a player grabs the shield who is not Kristoff, it will just be a normal shield. But if Kristoff grabs the shield in multiplayer, it becomes enchanted as a blessed shield. This could be very useful when fighting Ozra because the blessed armors and shields come with increased aggravated defense. So very useful because Ozra's going to be using a lot of aggravated damage. Oh yeah, I'm going to put this torch away so I don't use it up. Going to try to ration the torch. As I would prefer its plus 5 bonuses over its illumination, as its illumination is not really as useful, at least to me. I can see the map just fine. It would actually be cool to consider doing some sort of relighting mod for Vampire the Masquerade Redemption. Also, I hear that someone did some retextures recently, and last I checked they posted on Planet Vampire, but I have not heard back from them on whether they're going to complete this project. It would be interesting to see the community take an extra effort and trying to modernize the visuals of the game. Okay, so we got quite a few rats that have spawned here. Wow. Okay. Right. Come on. No, it was just 3. No, not really a big deal. Anyway. I should probably pull out my, Actually, I don't even think I need the torch right now. It's probably... I'm probably doing pretty good right now. I'll probably reserve the torch for when I'm fighting something bigger, so I don't use it up so quickly. Also, this is a quick this is a quick shortcut on back to the previous level of the mines. So I don't think I need to go back to town anytime soon. I think I'm good both inventory and experience wise. I think this is a pretty satisfactory level of stats here, and I think I should be able to deal with Ozra with these stats. I think I'm pretty well equipped too. I think I got enough defense against aggravated to deal with Ozra. Because in the Age of Redemption mod, Ozra will use her disciplines. She will not hold back. She will use not only her disciplines, but some new disciplines that were added to her. Disciplines that normally the AI would not consider using. So that can be very problematic. This looks like a good spot to pull out my torch. Let me take a look what's around the corner here. Yes, let's see here. That is a larger slock stud. Those are usually tougher, and it is definitely a good idea to use a torch on them. So I'm going to attract them to me. Come on over here. And they're both using potents, so I think... Okay, there we go. That way I can take only one at a time here, so let's try to... There we go. Phew! Alright. Another weird thing that could be changed is this little segment here. I mean, we got what appears to be a flood of water coming from somewhere. Who knows where? Probably a underground river or something. But this device here, I don't know. It makes little sense to me why this is here. I mean, it's really reflected that this is a retro game. It would be cool if someone, not just me, would consider, I don't know, redoing the bond silver mines. Oh, what do we got here? Another rusty sword. Gosh, I'm going to be finding lots of silver here. Lots of silver. I need to consolidate. I need to play Tetris here for a moment and make room, because that's actually good money. Even when I pay for the whetstone to repair it, that's actually the best weapon to repair with a whetstone. I will definitely be featuring more custom... That was weird. That was weird. What was... Gosh. Weird navigation issues. Okay, before I fight this war ghoul, probably a good time to save. I'm usually very cautious around this war ghoul here. He can really mess me up. I also want to fight him before my torch runs out. I guess it's getting down there to a little over a minute and a half. So I'm going to do some shift attacks. Shift. Right. Yeah, I got a luck of the draw. He didn't even get his fortitude activated. So, yay for me. Right. I don't even think I'm going to need this anymore. I'm going to put this away. Save the torch for any real threats in the area. Obviously, the torch is not really going to be useful right now. It actually probably came in handy quite a bit against that war ghoul. Also, holy water. You definitely want to have holy water against the vampires. They're useless against everything else around here. I think the common issue I hear about is people new to Vampire the Masquerade Redemption try to use holy water on everything, and that's really not useful. It does nothing. It only works on vampires, and it's highly effective against vampires. Damn. Ooh, whoa. Okay, how much damage did I do? I did a little bit, but nothing that Ineska's blessing couldn't heal. So I'm good. Got to remember that they're using potents, which is increasing their damage. Alright, what do we got? I'm gonna try to fight one of these at a time. Don't think I'll be going up against very many rats. Hey. Die already. Stay dead. Okay, looks like I attracted that guy from up there. I'm probably gonna need to deal with... Okay, I'm gonna end up being cornered here if I'm not careful. Okay. Alright. Okay, no big deal. No big deal. Took them out like they were nothing. yay for dexterity. Dexterity really comes in handy. I think, last I checked, I think dexterity actually increases your chances of cutting off their heads. It increases your chances of cutting off their heads for creatures that can be beheaded. Alright, so let's see here. What else we got? Alright, so I got some stakes. Obviously I'm going to be setting up these stakes here pretty soon. I don't know if I'm going to... Yeah, I'll probably put the silver sword down here and get the shield on. I am getting near to the end of this second level and about to enter Ozra's lair, which is right over there. And it's just a few ghoul rats. And he seems a little skittish. I don't know why he's... What you waiting for? Come on at me. Right. Had to stop and think about it a little bit. Come on. Right. Now, these particular rats are a little bit tougher, just a little bit. More hit points and damage than the little guys that attack me. Alright, so I see there's some barrels over here. I'm going to see what's in them. Oh, more healing solvents, which I have no more room for. Right. What room do I have for anything? Right, okay. I need to... let's see. Right, so what to do? I don't think I need a whole lot more. I might come back for these because I'm pretty sure I will be using quite a bit of these elixirs, so I want to keep moving before Anesca's Blessing runs out, which should be pretty soon. So off I go into the sinister unknown. Okay, so let's see. Wouldn't stop me from looking at this object here. What in the world? Another rusty... Holy cow. I'm going to have a lot of silver swords by the time this is all done. Oh, I got to grab that. I'm hoping I will have plenty of inventory. I should have a lot of room for that stuff pretty quick here. Right. Yeah. Looks like the throne room. I think this would be a good time to save before I go completely down there. Okay. Right. Okay, done. Alright. One thing that I did about the Age of Redemption 2012 mod is I made it to where you really have to stay close to her, because if you keep going distant and trying to do that old trick of staying on the stairs and attacking her from a distance, she is going to use mind disciplines on you that will really frustrate you.
Blasphemy! Let the builders of this mockery of a holy cathedral show their wicked faces. Out, blaspheming wretch! Taste the steel of righteousness!
I am Ozra, the Unliving, and I bid thee welcome to my domain. I have found thee an inhospitable and ungrateful guest.
God strike thee down, she-devil! Accursed creature! Earth has no room for such as thee!
Nay, verily all the earth is our dominion. With every passing day our numbers swell. We shatter all defenses and corrupt all homes.
She's a pretty little thing, isn't she?
She shall rule all of Prague, and everyone, mortal and Canaanite alike, will tremble at our coming.
Hellspawn, the purity of the holy places protects them from thy evil.
Purity can be sullied, and holiness can be defiled. The Methuselah of Visalon shall awaken soon. He shall defile all his peers and leave corruption in his wake. In defilement lies his strength. Purity is sweet meat to him, as thy rich blood is sweet wine to me.
Well, sounds like a fun guy.
Die, thou damned beast. God hath spat thee out of heaven in ancient times, and now I scourge thee from the earth. Die, and burn far from the sight of God.
Okay, so Nesca's blessing still working. Oh, sweet. Ah, oh no, no, ah. Not a good start to the... She failed the first attempt. Okay. Alright. She's trying... Ah, there we go. Oh, right, I did not do what I should have done. Ah, shish kebab. Oh, right. Yeah, missed that one. Okay, so this is what happens when you don't prepare. Right. Yeah. While I'm here, when I was getting myself distracted on other stuff, forgot to set myself up properly here. Okay, so... Right. Okay, so my defense and aggravated should be around 60. Okay, so that should be fairly effective in this particular case. Let's see. Remember my... What's here? So I got F2, F3, F1. Okay, obviously I got a little sidetracked. Alright, let's try this again, because she will definitely make quick work of you if you're not prepared. And that shield will definitely come in handy.
Blasphemy! Let the builders of this mockery of a holy cathedral show their wicked faces. Out, blaspheming wretch! Taste the steel of righteousness!
I am Alzra, the unliving, and I bid thee welcome.
Okay, we've already done this. Well, la 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 la. Okay, come on, bring it, bitch. Oh, okay, fine, fine, be that way. No! No! Oh, right! Yes, F5, F5, F5. F5. Yeah! That can be really easy or really hard, depending on how you prep for it.
Of our Lord is forbidden to the likes of thee. Thou hast no home now but eternal torments of hell.
Right. Sorry about that. Got my cord caught under my chair for some reason. Okay. Alright, so made rather quick work of her. I'm rather surprised that second one went the way it did. Well, not so surprising since I was prepared for it a little more. And that dexterity does come in handy to increase that a little bit more so you can increase your chances of staking her. It can make a difference between taking up to a minute to kill her or up to 5 minutes to kill her, depending on how much dexterity you really want to put in there. Also, increasing your wits will help make you more resistant to mind spells. Also notice that I increased my faith by 5 points. There's a trick to this. When you increase your faith by 5 points, this will come in handy later in the game. You'll gain it's a little experience boost after your embrace. So it's kind of a trick to gaining more experience. Gives you a little heads up, a little more edge. I think I might want to... I will keep wits at around 30. I'm kind of thinking in 5s here, increasing 5s. It's kind of my habit, but I think having strength a little bit higher would be handy. But I'm also thinking a little bit more dexterity and probably a point left in there. So I guess I'm not making it even by 5x5s here. So I'm just spending on what I have points for. Definitely you want to have more wits later on. You'll want to get that up there as quick as you possibly can. At least 60. That would be really good to get up that sooner rather than later. Alright, so I think that's all right. I think I'll stick with that. And okay, so I use some of these items up. Obviously I can go grab that that rusty sword now and go repair that. Man, this didn't even take as many resources as it did. I did 3 attempts to do this video. And, hold on, let me get this GUI out of here. And on my second attempt of doing this, the previous attempt, it took me a good 2-3 minutes to finally get the stake into her and get her paralyzed. And notice the respawn timer is ticking. Yes, you can go for a rematch with Ozra if you want to do a rematch with Ozra for the Age of Redemption 2012 mod. So you can stick around here and let the timer expire and do a rematch with her.
An amulet of St. Jude. 'Tis an omen. If I redeem so holy a relic from this ungodly tomb, surely this saint shall grant me his favor.
But I think once is enough for this particular playthrough. I don't think I need to fight her again. So I'm gonna go back and get that that silver. That rusty broadsword. That is actually a silver broadsword. So I will get that, and I'm also going to double back here for a moment and grab those potions I didn't have room for before. I wonder if I have room for them. I think I should have room for them. Yes, I do have room for them, so I'll grab them now. Even as a vampire, I know it's not lore friendly for vampires to be affected by disease, but this game's explanation is vampires are immune to disease through their blood healing powers. So so later on, when you become a vampire, you definitely want to spend more on your blood healing. Hold on. Right. So where was I? Let's see. What is my quest here? I just picked up that amulet of St. Jude. I have to head over to St. Thomas's Cathedral. Just noticed. Oh yeah. Seems to be a typo in the quest description there. It doesn't look like it's spelled correctly. I may fix that. Definitely. It's definitely fixable. I could fix that in the Age of Redemption 2014 mod. If anyone notices any other typos or misspellings in the quest descriptions, please let me know. I will add it to my planner. I will definitely have to add this to my planner. And my planner will be on the E-Mods.net forum under the AOR section. Alright, so...
Who comes there? Ah, the Crusader ends his day in retreat. Back for another rest in the nunnery?
All of Prague may rest. I have claimed the head of the Demon Queen.
Praise be to Christoph, champion of Prague.
Yeah, all by lonesome self. Absolutely no help from anybody. Yeah. I can see the why the WoD PNB fans had complaints about Redemption. It's not really. This really isn't. This isn't really the pen and paper fans' favorite sort of game. Often the people will say, "Oh, the Bloodlines is way better," and that's usually because this is mostly hack and slash retro with Diablo 2 elements and killing lots of vampires and not so lore friendly sort of realm. But I do like that it is much more flexible from the modding standpoint and can be fixed in that regard.
I am newly returned from the silver mines. The evil therein is no more.
The splendor of the Lord rains down upon thee, Christoph. I give thee this wrought silver cross for thy labors.
I would hear all thou knowest of Vampire Lord, that I might fight them more wisely.
They are evil. That is all thou need knowest. I do not corrupt my soul with knowledge beyond that.
I thank thee.
Right. Because knowing something is evil is all you need to know to defeat it. Apparently.
Hurrah! Hurrah for Christoph! The mines are safe again. All hail the crusading hero of Prague. Hurrah!
We thank thee for restoring the mines.
Yeah,
we finally have new silver to craft and
another
sell.
area to consider
God
changing
bless thee,
the
Sir
camera
Christopher.
angle a little bit more.
My heart warms to see the good people rejoice, and yet Oscar's words chill me to the core. I fear that evil endures in Prague.
Oh, Inesco's effect is seemingly acting. It's still active. Yeah, quite a while. Must not have been 30 minutes yet. Alright, so I need to go return to the convent and visit Sister Inesca.
Good morrow, milady.
Good morrow, my lord. We give thanks that the mines are restored to godly condition, and we rejoice to see thee in health after such danger.
Yet there is danger in health, for I must forego thy tender ministrations.
My lord.
Yet now I suffer a new affliction, for which thou hast the only cure.
I shall serve thee in any way I can, my lord.
I have retrieved a sacred relic, milady. The amulet of St. Jude. I wouldst give it thee, milady, for thy devoted care.
I take no gifts. The Lord's work is favor enough.
It is the dearest of all I have, and thou art the dearest of all I have not. Please, keep this for my sake.
Okay, right. Getting sidetracked on other thoughts here, sorry. So, let's see. There's a thing about the nun.
Good day,
here.
Archbishop Giza.
Explain thy intentions toward good Sister Inesca. I command thee to speak only truth before God.
I find her the fairest of all God's creatures, and bemoan the cruel fate that hath placed her beyond my reach. In another time and place, we might have found happiness together, as man and wife.
Such thoughts are evil. Thy concupiscence damns thy soul and dooms Inesca. I command thee, purge such lusts from thy heart, if not for thy sake, then for hers. Do not tempt her away from her holy orders, thou wicked, selfish boy. She is out of thy star, and is not for the likes of thee. Her place is with me, with us, here in the convent. And thy place is out in the wilderness, striking the fear of God into the hearts of the heathen. If thou art strong enough to entertain such lusts, thou art strong enough to return to thy regiment.
Alas, they are too far away.
Well, the streets of Prague are still host to unclean demons. Perhaps thou shouldst destroy these abominations to expend some of thy hot blood.
I must protest. My place is here. The demon queen confessed they sought to defile holy places. 'Tis my duty to protect these hallowed grounds when next they attack.
Thy archbishop shall dictate thy duty. Hunt them in the streets.
Okay, it doesn't seem to matter what you pick here in the conversation. They both seem to do the same thing.
I obey, but I shall protect the streets in front of the cathedral and convent as well.
I shall be watching thee, thou immoral lad.
And again, skipping the Bix. No bickering here. Alright, after being given an earful by that Archbishop, I am charged with protecting Prague by night. And he does not want me in the convent, protecting the convent. So, right. And the quest description says you're limited to Old Town, so you don't only have to defend Old Town, apparently. It would be interesting to enhance this quest a bit more, because there is a lot here that could have been done.
Thy business is not within this holy place, but without it. Get thee hence, and protect the streets from the devil's children.
So, off I go. To protect the streets from the devil's children. Oh, I need to grab some more stuff. Oh yes, let's see here. I need to get those whetstones so I can repair these broadswords. I also received a holy cross from the Archbishop after telling him I killed Ozra. So that's a new feature in the Age of Redemption 2012, is you get this item added. And I hear that train. And the weather outside is pretty disgusting. I don't know if yeah, I'm going to stay inside. Yeah, definitely going to stay inside. You know, another thing I've noticed, you see all these pedestrians, they just wander around, and you got two Sloxer right here that just seem to not be doing anything. And I think another thing I can add to my planner here is do something different with 2014. I don't know, make it to where they attack the civilians. Perhaps have some scripted scenes where you're having to actually defend people and maybe gain some humanity bonuses, possibly for actually doing something about it to help protect people from the Sloxta that are doing more than eating garbage out of the barrel and standing there looking at the what looks like the clock, the old town clock. And obviously he only triggers when I appear close to him. I think there should be a little bit more done here. And there can be. I mean, we have a rather sizable non-SDK that allows you to do stuff like this, but it seems like a lot of people don't really get the programming aspect of it because there is a Java required for a lot of this. You actually have to be a programmer to mod this game. And there isn't too many of those. I really wish there were more. So where do I want to go? Aside from heading on back to the convent now and concluding this quest, I think I'm going to head over to Anorna and gain a little bit of experience from her knowledge of the World of Darkness lore. Now, I don't really need to ask all the questions to Anorna. All I need to do is just talk to her once, and that's it. And then just go, I think. If you want to know more about vampire lore that is understood within the Vampire the Masquerade Redemption game, then go right ahead. But I'm just going to pass as much of that as I can.
I bid ye welcome, and sing your praises for the slaying of Azra the Unliving.
Without thy lore, I could not have slain her, so I thank thee for thy wise counsel. But Azra said many things that did shake my soul. I would have benefit of thy lore.
Ask thy questions.
Okay, just a planner note. Possible plan. For the Age of Redemption 2014, I could make each of these questions give a one-time 25 experience bonus for each question that you ask. So you gain 25 here, 25 there, and then a total of 100 experience out of asking these questions. Instead of going through the fixed one-time experience, I think you gain 50 experience from talking to Anorna in this particular case. You don't even have to ask the questions. You can just go to I thank thee. And right there in the console, it pops up 50 experience. So, right. I think I could sell off this ring. Oh yeah, I do need to go back to the smithy. I need to go to the smithy and talk to him. I also would like to buy an invisibility scroll. She has those. This is kind of a roll of the dice, luck of the draw here. Sometimes she'll have an invisibility scroll. I really want to get at least one of these and make use of the scroll, and then I can show newcomers to the Vampire the Masquerade Redemption how you use these scrolls. Not everyone knows how to use them. Let's see, what else do I need? You can also sell the Holy Cross that was given to you. Typically this does nothing to the game. This is an extra item. It was just added to your inventory. It is not, however, factored in to the quest line. I could intertwine this cross possibly during his embrace scene, and if you sold the cross, skip the part where he throws it during that embrace scene. So I'm just going to sell it for the extra cash, and I will
farewell, young one.
I will head off over to the smithy. So right, get this this GUI off, and let's see what else can I talk about along the way. Nothing. Nothing really comes to mind. Right, okay, so
the bells of Prague do ring out your victory, Christoph. The whole city prizes your handiwork.
And I prize thine.
Alright, so I'm going to sell this exquisite dagger, and I'm going to get a couple whetstones to repair the rusty broadswords.
You have my hand on it. 'Tis a deal.
Oh. And there we go. Get some extra
Good
cash.
day to ye, young sir.
Selling those. Alright, so I'm gonna get some better. I'm gonna get this studded, as that includes an additional bit of aggravated defense, so you're probably gonna want that. So here we go.
Good day to ye.
And I will keep the Blessed Shield active. Not too sure how much I'm gonna be using torches. I think I will leave that be for now. I'm gonna apply this scroll to my F3, so that's going to be F3. Right, okay, so alright, off I go back to the convent. Oh yeah, probably want to make a quick stop at the Four Stags Inn, as you can get an extra elixir.
Behold, 'tis the Crusader, the demon slayer who purifies the minds. Raise your cups in his honor. To Christoph.
At the very least, you can get some extra cash out of that. When you sell it to a Norna, you're going to be selling a lot of these healing elixirs off once you become embraced. And that's the more interesting part of this series, is once you become embraced, things are going to get really interesting. Okay, first off, I decided not to just go headstrong over there. I wanted to take a quick look at what kind of weapons these Primisil are given. In Age of Redemption 2012, enemies like the Primisils are given random weapons. So you might want to check around the corner and see what they're equipped with before you go headstrong into a situation. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press F3. I'm going to activate the invisibility scroll. I'm going to right click and then jump right on in.
Oh, 'tis the little warrior. I bet you're soft and tender inside your tin britches.
I'll eat your gizzard while it's still attached to your quivering body. This is thy payment for bringing final death to Azra the Unliving.
Alright. There we go, and I'm going to... one guy used his potence. Alright. Nice.
Lounge from within the convent. Aneska, I will protect thee. The Archbishop be damned.
This can either go really well or really bad. Oh, he had an exquisite rapier, a fine broadsword. What else do we got? A 14. The rapier actually has, it's actually faster weapon. It has a attack speed of 124, while the silver broadsword has an attack speed of 111. I may want to switch over to that. Also got some diamonds out of that. Nice. A fine broadsword, not as good. I may switch to the rapier, as its increased attack speed may make up for its minor loss of damage, but it is more accurate and it hits more often. So I think that will be good. I don't have any need for a stake right now. I grabbed a blood pouch. This is going to be useful for when you become a vampire, but not so useful right now. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense that I'm carrying it. I think it kind of defies logic to carry it around as a human. As you look at it and go, ew. Oh, I have room for one more weapon. The fine broadsword might actually be worth more. Actually, these weapons will probably be here even after my embrace, because they're now spawned into the world, so they'll be saved there. They're not going anywhere. All right, so off to the convent I go.
Christoph, thou hast brought evil into this holy place. This taint follows thy soiled soul.
I hope that's not a flame sword.
It burns. The she-cow's vile purity.
And I hope that's not a poison dagger. That could be problematic.
Back to the abyss, hellspawn. Thou art anathema in the eyes of God. Die and be damned.
Away with thee! We forbid thee to defile this holy place.
Intruder! Okay, got one. Got one. Not too bad, not too bad. I can deal with it. Shift attack. Alright. Got some goodies. Right, I don't have room for them. Do I have room? I'll grab the cash, though. I don't have room for the emeralds.
It appears that I am once again in thy debt, brave sir, for coming to us in our time of need.
As I am in thy debt, for saving my life with thy tender care, and for thy uncommon valor in standing with me against the forces of hell.
I pray, my lord, that thou art always near to deliver us from this evil.
Milady, I pledge my arm to thy cause for as long as I draw breath and beyond.
Then I have faith in the safety of our humble convent.
His skill is great, and he fights with the strength of a demon.
His courage has opened the minds again. Think how the gift of Cain would enhance the might of such a man.
Aye. He has done great service to the Promethean cause by dispatching Azra without our involvement. But this decision must be made with surpassing care.
With so many of us missing, we need his sword in the coming tumult. The other clans are surely considering him for the embrace by now.
No doubt. But hast thou forgotten the power the Church wields over the minds of these mortals, Cosmos? His faith is the strength behind his steel.
Is that train?
Stripped of his faith, would he be of any use to us, I wonder?
He has been cut from the herd by his wound. He's been separated from the heart of his sword brethren by many miles. Like any stray, he is more malleable. He may bend rather than break.
Thou art wise, Cosmos. How well thou knowest the hearts of men of war. Yet, I am not convinced.
The Premises are enraged at his continuing interference in their plans. I have learned that they have now placed a rich bounty upon his head. He'll not outlive the next woman.
Get thee to the prince, and tell him that this night, Ekaterina the Wise awakens another into darkness.
Thy will is done.
And Cosmos, should this Kristoff falter or fail, he must fall.
Lady Inesca, I must speak with thee.
Hush, lest thou rouse the convent with thy clamor.
I have wandered the city for hours, yet each turn of the streets did lead me back here.
My lord, 'tis dusk. Thou shouldst not be out of doors. Fiends shall soon be legion.
I would fight all fiends of hell to stand at thy door.
And how may our holy order assist his lordship this eve?
Milady, thou must hear me. I sought to tell thee once before, but fear took my voice.
What power could daunt the man who hath faced demons from hell?
The face of an angel from heaven.
Oh, my lord,
Thou hast struck me a wound that heals not. My life's blood pours out before me, and I cannot stanch it. I do love thee, fair Inesca. I do love thee with a passion I have never known.
My lord, I must protest. Such love is an affront to heaven.
If thou deny me, I am undone.
I cannot deny thee. I too am afflicted with a wound for which thou art the only cure. My soul fell when first I beheld thee, and now my heart is cleft in twain. My love of God and my love of thee have torn me to ribbons, for I must betray one to keep faith with the other.
Thus my sins do pour out before me, for I have spilt my wickedness upon thy innocent bosom.
Nay, 'tis my wanton desire that hath ensnared thy virtuous heart. I was a fool to confess my heart to thee. Gladly would I imperil mine own soul, but never thine.
Then truly we are lost. Our souls are beyond all hope of redemption.
My lord, look thou at the locket thou didst give me. 'Tis the locket of St. Jude, the patron saint of lost causes.
Thus fate makes a bitter mockery of our plight.
Say not so. Where the saints tread, hope follows. Mayhap St. Jude shall bring us hope past all hope. I pray we find a way.
I pray so too. Thy hopeful words have filled my heart with courage, and I can leave satisfied. Farewell, fair Inesca.
Nay, the streets are not safe at night. Thou must stay here in the convent till the sun shines again.
May God have mercy upon my soul, for the devil has just placed into my heart the most impure of notions. I do tremble to confess it, but I feel I would cast away all holiness to stay. I would exchange an eternity of heaven's bliss for one night by thy side.
Know thee that thou art not alone in such desires.
Then truly I am damned. I am condemned for my lust, but I must not drag thee into the abyss with me. I must flee this holy place and return no more.
My lord, come back!
Doo-doo-doo. And skip the book. Skipping the book.
Inesca, water, I beg of thee. I thirst. I starve.
I am Ekaterina the Wise, Ekaterina the Promethean, Ekaterina, the leader of the Bruja clan. We are the children of Cain, and now thou art one of us.
God have mercy on my soul. I am damned.
Steady now, whelp. Thou lackst the strength to fight, and I would slice thee in twain without hesitation.
Thou must feed, my child, before the hunger overtakes thee and drives thee mad.
Notice that you can now actually see that blood particle.
I now, a miserable demon.
Normally you can't see that
stealing blood
in the vanilla game.
damned and cursed to hell? Is this all that remains of noble Christoph?
Nay, my child. There is far more to thee than ever before. Thou art Bruja now. We Bruja are the philosophers of Cain's lineage. Where other clans treasured gold and trinkets, we sought pure wisdom. We strove to unravel the thorny knots that bind the very gates of heaven. Are we damned? Nay, we are exalted. In fabled Carthage, we lived in concordance with all mortals. Together we sought the secrets of Eden, that the children of Cain and the children of Seth would be raised up. But the hated Ventru grew jealous of our power. The patrician clan betrayed us, and tried to destroy us. We survived, but fabled Carthage did not. Despite this great loss, we Prometheans continue our search for harmony with all mortals.
We are the most noble of our breed, Christoph. We seek only the fulfillment of the dream that was Carthage. But we need thy help to achieve this goal. A war lies ahead. A terrible battle that calls for warriors like us.
Wars among devils do not concern me.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have his
We
teeth.
will cause thee to think otherwise, whelp.
Enough,
Because
Cosmos.
I had armor on at the time he
Bruja
changed.
blood needs time to cool. Come,
Quickly
let us
rectified.
leave our young one to think upon his situation. But know this, Christoph. Thou would have been killed or embraced by our enemies on this night. We have given thee life eternal, and awakened thee to the true face of thy world. I do not expect gratitude, but our clan requires loyalty or death.
Yeah, I could probably check for that cross
There
and
is
then
no
skip
life
this
in me.
particular part if he sold it.
Even my heart has ceased to beat. My very soul has been stripped from me. There is nothing left for salvation or damnation.
I'll put that in my planner. You can check it on the forum.
Thou needs must pledge fealty to thy new mistress.
Okay, so, bug report. This third option down here, he does not walk to the position he is required to, and I'll show you real quick. And I'm mainly choosing this because I am also showing the bugs in Age of Redemption 2012, and they will be fixed in the Age of Redemption 2014.
I do not agree to serve thee. I reject thee and shun thy evil works. I take my leave of thee.
Insolent whelp, I forbid it! Tempt not my wrath.
The man he was can do little else, Ekaterina.
The vampire he is must do otherwise, Cosmos.
He will learn, should he survive his own folly.
Thou speakest sagely, Cosmos. Very well, Christoph. I shall not strike thee down for this one act of disobedience. And if thou leavest now, I shall not move to stop thee. But neither shall I lift my hand to save thee from reaping the fruits of such disobedience.
Then farewell, fair cruelty. I take my leave of thy damnable house and my own damnable unlife. For only in death can I find solace for the loss of my soul.
And Brooke.
Such a death would not end thy accursed existence, but curse it even further. Shouldst thou ever meet a wraith, thou would understand that thy present torment is paradise compared to the anguish of those in the Shadowlands. Thou dost owe me a great debt for saving thee from a far greater damnation. And for that debt of life, I desire that thou heed the word of thy mistress Ekaterina, at least until thou hast sense enough to come in out of the sun. Do that, and guard my back on an important mission, and I will consider our account settled. Now, let us return to Ekaterina.
Christoph, thou must understand that our enemies are legion, and none more vile than Clan Zamitzi, which infests Prague like a plague. The fiends seek thy death in payment for the slaying of Azra and her Shlachta servitors. If thou art to survive, thou must quickly master the powers of thy blood. Thou must pay heed to all our laws, or thou wilt become a gibbering monster like the Zamitzi. Our first law:
Mistress Ekaterina, I crave thy indulgence.
Yeah,
Kristoff is a man of action. His learning shall be the greater on the field of battle than the parlors of the Prometheans. Let me take him on my mission to Garanal's Haven, where he may learn our ways firsthand. I could use a stout broadsword protecting my back.
Kristoff is not yet ready.
Verily, he is as ready as he shall ever be.
I would have thy counsel, Cosmos.
Kristoff is no Bruja philosopher. His hot blood cools too much when he has no mission and curdles. Send him forth. If he survives, he will have mastered our ways.
Very well. Kristoff, go thou with Wilhelm Stryker. Trust what he says if thou wouldst outlive the night. Go, my swordsman, and strike deep into the lair of our dear ally, Garanal the Cappadocian.
Time to cut thy teeth, fledgling.
Alright, I am going to conclude this with some quick planner notes. First off, definitely want to fix this conversation. Just that little minor glitch there. Nothing too big. Also, backtracking a little bit more. Let's see here. There's an idea that I have that could potentially allow you to select other clans, and this is actually going to be a big project. It's not going to be in 2014. I don't think I'll have time to do this. This is likely going to take a while, and it's going to need more than just myself working on the project. I don't know who's going to jump on board with this, but there is, you notice there's that sequence where you can where you see the clan talking about, you see the Ekaterina talking to Cosmos about you after you cleared the convent of the Promisils. There could certainly be a lot done to make it to where you can choose other clans and then have a different introduction at that point, so you can play it normally up to that point and then have a different clan talk about you and be the clan that embraces you, and that would actually require more levels to be built. Essentially people doing new dialogue. I may end up initially doing it with text only, and then if somebody wants to do vocals for the text, then maybe we can do that. But there will be a lot of additional content needed for that particular idea. It certainly is on the table for another Age of Redemption release, possibly not for 2014, because that is a large project and it's a rather large notion, but it is on the table. If people want to have more clans to play and a slightly different experience with that clan, I can make that happen. There is a possibility of me doing that, but it will take some time. It won't be done in 2014, like I said. But you can leave your comments down below on this video. You can also post at the E-Mods.net forum. I will leave the link in the doobly-doo down below. Definitely want to do some more with the Protect Prague by Night quest. Essentially create some more replay value. Definitely want to add more randomity, and certainly want to work on a new treasure class system, perhaps. Maybe something based on your character's level and progression. I was initially thinking maybe the more you spend on some of these stats that really don't have any real effect on the game normally, could be changed around in the Age of Redemption mod, where they can actually factor into some other gameplay stuff. Like for example, spending more on your perception could allow you to find more treasure. Perhaps you'll have a chance of finding more gold. That way it can balance out the amount of gold that you find by default, because you do find quite a bit of, like you pick up 235 cash. A lot of people are like, well, I'm not used to that. I'm used to just seeing maybe 1 to 5 bits of cash at this level, and I could make it to where that could be determined by your perception score instead of having it at a fixed level where, oh, there's that darn train. But anyway, oh, that experience bonus that that I got there, this is from having my faith stat set to 55, and you gain some additional points from having your faith set to 55. So that applies to the Age of Redemption mod as well. This also applies to the vanilla game. You can do that in vanilla and still get the additional amount of experience. So yeah, so this will conclude part 1 of my Let's Play with developer commentary, and anything I missed and my quick talking points of the planner, I will attempt to cover in the forum, and you can view it in the link again, and check out what's in store for the Age of Redemption 2014. I hope you enjoyed this first part of the series. It is ongoing. I hope you stick around and check out part 2. That will be coming out soon. And until then, to be continued.